Hello, Chosen One. You are here for a reason. It is not a coincidence that you are reading these words. There is something within you, a restlessness, a search for something beyond what the world offers. This feeling that something is missing, that you do not quite fit in, is not a mistake. It is a sign that something greater is awakening within you. Do you feel that calling, that subtle vibration that drives you to seek more meaning, more purpose? It is the awakening of Christ consciousness, an invitation to a new way of being, connected to the essence of love, peace, and your unique purpose. It is not about perfection, but about a process of discovery and manifestation of the divine light that resides in each of us. It is a journey of growth, self-knowledge, and connection to something greater than yourself. This journey is not easy, but it is profoundly rewarding. It will involve challenges, moments of doubt, and perhaps even misunderstanding from those around you. But remember, you are not alone. Many are walking this same path, seeking the same connection, the same light, and together we are stronger. Before we proceed, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. This way you will not miss any content that will help deepen your journey of self-discovery and connection with Christ consciousness. Subscribe now and let's embark on this transformative journey together. Christ consciousness is not a religion, a cult, or a new dogma to be followed blindly. It is something much deeper and more personal, a state of being, a way of living in harmony with your divine purpose, with your truest essence. Imagine it as the flower that blooms after a long winter, revealing its unique beauty and fragrance, a beauty that is not limited to physical form, but emanates from a deep connection with the creative source. It is the manifestation of your inner light, the full expression of your divine potential, an expression that transcends the limitations of the ego and expands to embrace the vastness of the universe. Many seek Christ consciousness through different spiritual paths, but its essence transcends any specific doctrine. It resides in the deep connection with something greater than yourself, with a creative force, with the unconditional love that permeates all existence, a love that does not judge, does not condemn, but embraces and transforms. It is the intuitive understanding that you are part of a whole, an interconnected web of life, where each being plays a unique and essential role, a role that contributes to the harmony and beauty of the universe. It is not a position of superiority, but of profound interdependence and respect for all creation. The passage from John 15:5. I am the vine, you are the branches. He who abides in me and I in him bears much fruit, perfectly illustrates this connection. The vine represents the divine source, the creative energy, the unconditional love, the life force that permeates everything that exists. The branches are us, connected to the source, receiving its life force, its wisdom, its light, its guidance. The more connected we are to the vine, the more fruit, love, compassion, wisdom, creativity, peace, joy we can generate in our lives and in the world around us. These fruits are not just for our personal benefit, but to nourish and strengthen the web of life, to contribute to the well-being of all beings. This state of Christ consciousness is not a privilege of a few chosen ones, saints, or enlightened gurus. It is available to all who open themselves to this possibility, to all who choose to respond to the inner call. A call that softly echoes in the depths of the soul, a whisper that becomes a shout when we are ready to hear it. It is a gradual transformation, a process of continuous growth, involving the healing of deep emotional wounds, the release of limiting beliefs that trap us in negative thought patterns, and the expansion of your consciousness beyond the limits of the ego, to embrace the vastness of your true being. The journey to Christ consciousness is a journey inward, an exploration of your own soul, of your divine essence, a journey that requires courage, perseverance, and a deep willingness for self-knowledge. It is a process of self-discovery that leads you to recognize your true nature, your innate connection with the universe, and your unique purpose in this world. A purpose that is not imposed from the outside, but emerges from within you, like an inexhaustible source of inspiration and motivation. It is the liberation from the illusion of separation, the deep and visceral understanding that you are an integral part of something much greater, much more vast and wonderful than you ever imagined, an essential part of a harmonious and interconnected whole. This inner transformation manifests in various ways, sometimes subtly, other times overwhelmingly. You begin to experience greater mental clarity, a sharper perception of reality, a deep compassion for others, and a sense of connection with life that transcends everyday experiences, connecting you with the beauty and wonder of existence in all its aspects. You become more aware of your actions and choices, always seeking the greater good, not just for yourself, but for all beings, recognizing the interdependence of all things. Think of someone who, in the face of great loss or suffering, does not allow themselves to be consumed by bitterness, but finds the strength to transform pain into learning, into compassion, into a drive to help others. This ability to transmute suffering into something positive, to find meaning even amid adversity, is a reflection of Christ consciousness in action. It is the ability to see beyond the surface, to recognize beauty and divinity in all things, even in the most challenging, to find light even in darkness. It is the understanding that even in pain, there is a purpose, a lesson to be learned, an opportunity for growth, a chance to connect with your inner strength and emerge stronger and wiser. It is the conscious choice to love, even when it is difficult, to forgive, even when it hurts, to serve, even when there is no recognition, to radiate light and compassion to the world, even when the world seems engulfed in darkness. This is the essence of Christ consciousness, the ability to love unconditionally, to live in harmony with your divine purpose, and to radiate light to the world, a light that illuminates not only your life, but the lives of all those you touch. The awakening of Christ consciousness does not happen suddenly and dramatically, like a lightning bolt splitting the sky. It is a gradual, subtle process, often imperceptible at first, like the germination of a seed that slowly transforms into a leafy tree. Recognizing the signs of this awakening is crucial to nurturing this inner growth and directing your energy toward the expansion of your consciousness. These signs can manifest in various forms, unique to each individual, but some common patterns can help identify this transformation. One of the first signs is a growing dissatisfaction with the superficiality of the material world. You begin to question the truths that once seemed absolute, the beliefs that were imposed on you, the social structures that trapped you in a value system that no longer resonates with your soul. There is a search for something deeper, more meaningful, an insatiable thirst for meaning and purpose. This search is not just intellectual, but existential. A quest for your true identity, for your place in the universe. You feel an increasing need to go beyond appearances, to unravel the mysteries of existence, to find answers to the great questions of life. Accompanying this search is a growing sensitivity to the suffering of others. You become more empathetic, more compassionate, more connected to the pain and joy of others. Indifference and apathy give way to deep compassion, a genuine desire to alleviate suffering and promote the well-being of all beings. This sensitivity is not weakness, but a powerful strength, an ability to connect with shared humanity, to recognize the divinity in each being, regardless of their actions or circumstances. Another important sign is the gradual detachment from materialism. It is not about renouncing the physical world, becoming an ascetic or hermit, but about changing your relationship with material possessions. The relentless pursuit of material goods, social status, and external recognition begins to lose its appeal. You realize the futility of the race for material success, the illusion that happiness lies in the accumulation of wealth. The passage from Matthew 6:33, "But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you," perfectly summarizes this shift in perspective. The focus shifts to deeper values, to the pursuit of justice, peace, and inner harmony. You begin to value more meaningful experiences, authentic relationships, moments of connection with nature, and with your own essence. This shift in perspective manifests in concrete actions. You may choose to simplify your lifestyle, reduce consumption, donate to charitable causes, dedicate more time to family and friends, seek activities that connect you with your spirituality. A person who exchanges the relentless pursuit of status for simple and meaningful moments of connection with their family, for example, is living this conscious detachment, this search for a more authentic and meaningful life. It is the conscious choice to prioritize what truly matters, to invest in relationships, in experiences, in personal growth, rather than clinging to material possessions that, in the end, are transient and ephemeral. The awakening of Christ consciousness can also manifest through vivid dreams, sudden intuitions, inexplicable synchronicities, and a growing connection with nature. You may feel a deep attraction to spiritual practices, such as meditation, yoga, or prayer, seeking a deeper connection with your own spirituality. Intuition becomes sharper, guiding your decisions and actions. You begin to notice patterns and connections that previously went unnoticed, recognizing the order and harmony that permeate the universe. These signs, although they may seem small and insignificant individually, when considered together, point to a profound and meaningful transformation occurring within you. It is the awakening of your consciousness to a broader, deeper, more connected reality. The journey toward Christ consciousness, although deeply rewarding, is not a path of flowers. It is a mountainous trail, with steep climbs, abrupt descents, and moments of uncertainty that can test your strength, your faith, and your resilience. Expecting a smooth process without challenges is to deny the very nature of transformation. Growth, the expansion of consciousness, requires you to confront your shadows, your insecurities, your limiting beliefs. It is a process of deconstruction and reconstruction, of death and rebirth. You will face doubts, existential questions that can shake your internal structures. The certainty that once seemed unshakable may dissolve, giving way to a feeling of uncertainty and disorientation. Deep fears, often unconscious, may surface, demanding that you confront and transmute them. You may feel lost, alone, directionless, questioning the very process of awakening. It is natural to feel this way. It is an integral part of the journey. Darkness is necessary for the light to shine more brightly. The misunderstanding of those around you is also a common challenge. As you transform, your priorities change. Your values align with a new reality, and your actions may no longer fit established social patterns. You may feel misunderstood, judged, marginalized, even rejected by those who cannot comprehend your journey. This experience can be painful, but it is important to remember that your transformation is an individual process, and not everyone is ready to accompany you on this journey. Internal resistance can also be a significant obstacle. The ego, attached to its patterns of comfort and security, may resist change, creating blocks and resistances that hinder the awakening process. Old habits, limiting beliefs, unconscious fears can sabotage your efforts, creating obstacles that seem insurmountable. Overcoming this resistance requires self-knowledge, discipline, and a deep willingness to transcend the limits of the ego. But it is precisely in these challenges, in these moments of doubt and uncertainty, that true growth occurs. It is in overcoming obstacles, in transmuting pain into learning, that you strengthen, expand, and draw closer to Christ consciousness. As Romans 12:2 reminds us, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Transformation is not passive but active, a conscious process of change that requires effort, dedication, and perseverance. The journey is not about avoiding pain, but about learning to deal with it, to transmute it, to extract wisdom and growth from it. It is about embracing challenges, recognizing the learning opportunities they offer, and using adversity as a catalyst for your transformation. Think of someone who, after losing everything, his home, his job, his material possessions, finds a new purpose in serving others, discovering that his true wealth lies in the impact he can have on people's lives. This person, by overcoming the pain of loss, found new meaning, a new direction, a new way of living in harmony with his divine purpose. This is the essence of the journey, transforming pain into compassion, loss into gain, suffering into growth. The journey is not easy, but it is profoundly transformative, leading you to a fuller, more connected, more authentic state of being. It is a process of rebirth, of liberation, of expanding consciousness, guiding you to a more meaningful and harmonious life. The practice of unconditional love and compassion extends beyond interpersonal relationships. It applies to all beings, including those we consider different, those who cause us suffering, those who seem distant from the light. It is the ability to love humanity in its entirety, with all its contradictions and imperfections. It is the ability to recognize the divinity in each being, even in those who seem farthest from the light. It is the ability to forgive, to let go of resentment, anger, judgment, and to open oneself to the experience of unconditional love. This practice is not easy. It requires effort, dedication, and a deep willingness to transcend the limits of the ego. It requires self-knowledge, self-compassion, and the willingness to confront your own shadows. But the reward is immense. A fuller, more meaningful life, more connected to your divine essence and to the divine essence of all beings. It is a life guided by love, by compassion, by understanding, and by the relentless pursuit of inner and outer harmony. It is a life lived in accordance with Christ consciousness. The journey toward Christ consciousness is an inner journey, an exploration of your own soul, of your connection with the divine. In this journey, meditation and prayer reveal themselves as powerful tools, essential instruments for silencing the restless mind, calming the anxious heart, and connecting with your intuition, with your inner wisdom, with the creative source. They are not mandatory religious practices, but effective techniques for accessing a deeper, more connected state of consciousness, more receptive to divine guidance. Meditation, in its essence, is the practice of silencing the mind, of ceasing the incessant flow of thoughts, observations, and judgments. It is not about emptying the mind completely, which is practically impossible, but about observing thoughts without identifying with them, without being swept away by the current of the mind. It is like watching clouds pass in the sky without clinging to any of them. It is a process of conscious observation, of witnessing, that allows you to connect with a state of inner peace and serenity. There are various meditation techniques, from the simplest, such as conscious breathing, to the more complex, such as transcendental meditation. But the essence of meditation remains the same, the practice of silencing the mind and connecting with your inner self. Even a few minutes of daily meditation can bring significant benefits, reducing stress, improving concentration, and promoting a state of calm and well-being. Conscious breathing, for example, is a simple and effective technique that can be practiced anywhere and at any time. Just pay attention to your breath, observing the in and out of the air without trying to control it. This simple practice helps anchor you in the present, calm the mind, and connect with your body. Prayer, in turn, is a form of communication with the divine, an expression of gratitude, faith, and surrender. There is no need to follow a specific ritual or use elaborate words. Prayer can be as simple as a moment of silence, a whisper of gratitude, or a sincere conversation with the creative force. It is a way to connect with something greater than yourself, to open yourself to divine guidance, to receive inspiration and strength. Prayer is not a way to ask for favors or manipulate reality, but a way to connect with the source of unconditional love, to surrender to divine will, to trust in the process of life. It is a way to express your gratitude for life, for the blessings received, for the lessons learned. It is a way to recognize your interdependence with the universe, to feel part of something greater, more vast, and more meaningful than yourself. A farmer who begins the day by thanking for the land he cultivates, even while facing climatic challenges, demonstrates how prayer can connect our daily work to the divine. He recognizes the interdependence between his work and the force of nature, expressing gratitude for the opportunity to cultivate the land and feed people. This attitude of gratitude and surrender transforms his work into a spiritual practice, connecting him with something greater than himself. Meditation and prayer, when practiced regularly, create a sacred space in your life, a refuge where you can connect with your divine essence, with your intuition, with your inner wisdom. They are essential tools for the awakening of Christ consciousness, allowing you to silence the restless mind, listen to the inner voice, and align with your divine purpose. They are not an end in themselves, but means to an end. The deep connection with the divine, the expansion of consciousness, and the manifestation of your full potential. The awakening of Christ consciousness is not an isolated process, confined to the limits of the individual. It is a phenomenon that extends beyond the self, radiating its light and influence to the collective, creating a cascading effect of transformation that positively impacts the world around you. When you transform, you inspire others to transform as well, creating a movement of consciousness expansion that can change the world. Personal transformation is the first step, the foundation upon which collective transformation is built. As you connect with your divine essence, with your unique purpose, you begin to radiate a different energy, a higher vibration that affects those around you. Your presence becomes more luminous, your compassion deeper, your empathy more genuine. You become a beacon of light, an inspiring example for those seeking a more meaningful path. This influence is not imposed, but contagious. People are drawn to your authenticity, your inner peace, your ability to love unconditionally. Your transformation becomes a living testimony to the possibility of a fuller, more meaningful life, more connected with the divine. You become a catalyst for change, inspiring others to seek their own transformation. Collective transformation does not happen in a linear or predictable way. It is an organic, complex process that involves the interaction of various factors, including individual consciousness, interpersonal relationships, social structures, and spiritual forces. But the awakening of Christ consciousness in isolated individuals creates an energetic field that impacts the collective, creating a movement of change that can transform society as a whole. Imagine a doctor who chooses to treat their patients with empathy, going beyond technical protocols, seeking to understand their emotional and spiritual needs, in addition to their physical conditions. This doctor, by practicing unconditional love and compassion, not only heals their patients but transforms the hospital environment, inspiring their colleagues, nurses, and even other patients to seek a deeper level of human connection. They create a healing environment that transcends the physical, reaching the emotional and spiritual. Their transformative attitude is not limited to the medical office but extends to the community, inspiring other healthcare professionals to adopt a more holistic and humanized approach. This collective transformation manifests at various levels. It can be seen in the growing awareness of social and environmental issues, in the search for more sustainable and just solutions, in the promotion of peace and harmony among peoples. It is a movement that seeks to transcend divisions and polarizations, creating a space for unity and collaboration to build a better world. The awakening of Christ consciousness is not a distant utopia, but a reality in the making. It is a gradual but irreversible process that is transforming individual and collective consciousness. As more people connect with their divine essence, with their unique purpose, the world transforms, becoming a more loving, more compassionate, more connected place. It is a process of co-creation, where each individual plays an essential role in building a better future, a future based on love, peace, harmony, and justice. Personal transformation is the first step, but collective transformation is the ultimate goal, a goal that can only be achieved through the union of efforts, collaboration, and the expansion of consciousness at all levels. The journey toward Christ consciousness is an invitation, a silent call that echoes in the depths of your soul. It is an invitation to abandon the illusion of separation, to recognize your intrinsic connection with the universe, with the creative force, with the unconditional love that permeates all existence. It is an invitation to free yourself from the shackles of the ego, from limiting beliefs, from the fears that imprison you in negative and destructive thought patterns. This is not an invitation to a specific religion, a cult, or a rigid dogma. It is an invitation to a profound inner transformation, an expansion of your consciousness that will lead you to a fuller, more meaningful life, more connected with your divine purpose. It is an invitation to become the best version of yourself, to realize your maximum potential, to contribute to the well-being of the world. You may ask yourself, am I ready for this journey? The answer lies in your heart, in your intuition, in your soul. There is no right or wrong answer, only your truth. The journey requires courage, perseverance, and a deep willingness for self-knowledge. It requires you to confront your shadows, your insecurities, your limiting beliefs. It requires you to open yourself to the possibility of profound transformation, even if it means leaving behind old habits, old beliefs, old patterns of behavior. But the reward is immense. The journey toward Christ consciousness is a journey of self-discovery, of growth, of liberation. It is a journey that will lead you to a more authentic, more meaningful life, more connected with your divine purpose. It is a journey that will connect you with an inexhaustible source of love, peace, joy, and purpose. Now, I ask you, are you ready to accept this call? Ready to look within yourself, to recognize your true essence, to let your light shine? Ready to embrace the challenges, the difficulties, the uncertainties that will inevitably arise along the way? Ready to become an agent of transformation, inspiring others to awaken as well? If the answer is yes, then declare with faith, I accept Christ consciousness in my life, and I am ready to live my divine purpose. This declaration is not just a verbal affirmation, but a profound commitment to your own transformation. It is a bold step toward a fuller, more meaningful life, more connected with the divine. May your journey be illuminated. May each challenge be an opportunity for growth. May each obstacle be a chance to expand your consciousness. May your light inspire others to awaken as well, creating a movement of transformation that will change the world. May you find peace, joy, and purpose in every step of this extraordinary journey.